What's up, guys, and welcome to my non-spoiler review for Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is the 20th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and this again is directed by Peyton Reed, who's directed the first Ant-Man. This takes place after Captain America's Civil War. Scott Lang is now on house arrest, so he's dealing with that, and Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne have kind of found a way to potentially save her mother and his wife from the quantum realm. The original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, who is portrayed by Michelle Pfeiffer in the film. And Ant-Man eventually gets entangled, and that is pretty much the basic plot of the film. Going into this, I was very excited to see it, especially after the two previous films in the MCU just this year, Black Panther and Infinity War. Really great movies. So, I was excited to see this. I really was a fan of the first Ant-Man. Peyton Reed is back to direct this. And I don't think this is as good a film as the first Ant-Man. Even though it does have that same tone and the family dynamic with Scott and his daughter Cassie. It's really one of the strongest points of the film emotionally. And it really works for me. Everything with them is really fantastic, and they're really giving great performances as well. The acting in the movie is really good. And Hope and Hank, Hank Pym, especially Michael Douglas, he is fantastic in this movie. I think he's great in the first one as well. I really enjoy him as this character, in this universe. And Evangeline Lilly, she's giving a good performance in this as well. She is the Wasp, so we finally get to see her in action, which is very entertaining, and I think they do a very good job with that. The villainous aspect of the film, Ghost, played by Hannah John Kamen, she is also giving a very, very good performance. It actually surprised me how good of a performance she was actually giving. And the writing for the character as well was fairly good. I think she is an okay villain. She's one of those villains that you could kind of understand why she's doing what she's doing, what she's trying to do, her motivations. It was all very clear to me, and that really worked. Lawrence Fishburne is also in the movie, and he's not your average character. He has some personality behind him, and he has dignity to him, and things, decisions that he makes in the film that make him a fine character. But I think the main villain, if that's even what you want to call him, played by Walton Goggins, he's pretty much the main villain in this, aside from Ghost. I think Walton Goggins' character, he's not relatable or anything. He is a very one-note villain. He is actually one of the worst villains in the MCU, if not the very worst. He is maybe in the movie for 20 minutes total screen time. It just seems like every time we really start to get something with the Ghost and with this character, it always sort of cuts back to him some of the times, or his henchmen, or whatever, and this sort of thing he's looking for, which is a very significant thing to what Hope and Hank are trying to do, but I just feel like the character was unnecessary, and that kind of took me out of the third act of the film in many ways. I think most of the big action is revolving his character and his henchmen, and with that I really just didn't find myself necessarily caring that much about what was going on in the third act of the movie. It was almost kind of forgettable, a really forgettable villain, to be honest. But I think everything going on also with Hank and Hope, I really enjoyed. For the most part, some things with the quantum realm. I mean, the film goes into that a little bit. Nothing is really explained. It's just sort of told to us and given to us, and we're just supposed to go with it and accept it without really getting a giant explanation of exactly what's happening here with the quantum realm. I think Michelle Pfeiffer is wasted, but the humor in this movie really works for me as well. It's pretty much just as funny as the first one, but the visuals are very good. Like I said, the humor is very good. It's genuinely funny. The score is good as well. You get that great Ant-Man theme from the first one. The Wasp has a new little piece, which isn't as memorable as the Ant-Man music, but you know, his theme is back in this, and all those themes are carried over. But in the end of the day, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is not one of the best films in the MCU. It's actually it's probably lower on my list of favorite MCU movies. Just because, like I said, the third act is kind of forgettable. What they're trying to do, the movie just sort of ends, you know, and it's just like, oh well, it was a fun little ride. But I wouldn't say this is a filler film, but it just wasn't as good as the first one overall, as an overall story. A character piece for Ant-Man individually and the other characters as well. I'm going to give Ant-Man and the Wasp 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy the movie. It is a fun film, but like I said, not one of my favorites in the MCU. And you should stay, obviously, for the post-credits scene. You could probably already guess what's going to happen, but to who it's going to happen is the question, and you'll just have to watch that to find out. Guys, comment your thoughts in the comments, your non-spoiler thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp if you did see the film. Do you plan on seeing it? What do you think about it? What are your thoughts on it? Also, guys, please subscribe to this channel. My reviews for Incredibles 2, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, The First Purge, Hereditary, all those reviews are up on this channel now. Also, if you guys are interested in a free digital copy code for Blockers, all you have to do is check my unboxing out. It's up on this channel now. Also, if you're interested in a digital copy code for Quiet Place, my 4K and Blu-ray unboxing will be coming up this Tuesday for a chance to win those codes. Just check those videos out to find out how to do so. Guys, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description of this video. And that's been it. Thank you very much for watching my non-spoiler review for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Over and out.